Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today, early in the morning here on Fountain of Youth Day. And a beautiful day it is. Happy to have everybody aboard. Brian Adel, Samantha Perry with you. Ronnie Nicoletti will be up with us a little bit later on. 14 races culminating, highlighted by the 14th, the Grade 2 Fountain of Youth. What a day, what a race card.
It's a marathon, not a sprint today for sure, but it's very exciting.
Unfortunately, a couple of very key late scratches. If you didn't see the news this morning, that Victory Avenue and Locked are late scratches out of the Fountain of Youth. Completely changes the complexion of the race, unfortunately.
It really does, but what remains is still some solid 3-year-olds.
Absolutely. Door Knock and Speakeasy now front and center. We'll get to it in a little bit. There are horizontals galore today, none more so than the Rainbow Six, which is, I believe, race 9 on the card. And look at this, $1.5 million in the estimated pool. They're going to bet huge today. Tomorrow is a mandatory day, but this Rainbow today will be massive, and get involved, and it's your last chance to sweep it before everything must go tomorrow.
Yeah, the pools are going to be huge today, and it's good racing all around. Like you said, just horizontals galore. I think you have a ticket every race.
That's what Ronnie wants us to believe, but you're picking up the slack, too. Good to have you back, by the way. That is for sure. Let's get into it. We got 14 races here. We got an early pick 5 kicking off in about 55 minutes. Let's take a look at my ticket here. These are expansive tickets today. This is the day to take some peel a few extra bills off the bankroll today. $50 for me, spreading in the opener in race 2. Thank you, guys. These guys upstairs are tremendous, by the way. So my best bet of the day is in race 2. That is the 8, and that is Jefferson Street on the comeback for the Hall of Famer Bill Mott. A single in race 3, Silent Heart. I talked to Brian Lynch yesterday. I like this horse stretching out today. And then a 5x4 late double to get me out of this sequence. In race number 4, the 9 on top. That is Congruent for Safi. In race number 5, the 2 on top, J.P. Hellish, who got a Hall of Fame ride from Javier Castellano last time. So that's a $50 early pick 5. I got a wow on Congruent. So we'll get to that. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. All right. Well, let's get into the opener. This is not easy.
No.
That is to be sure. In race number 1 now, we're going a mile and an eighth. We'll stretch these 3-year-olds out on the turf. It's a maiden special weight. Just the AEs. You can see it on the left of your screen right there. Just the AEs are out. Should be a very, very good betting race. Domingo for you, Brendan Walsh, going to run on turf for the first time with Lasix.
Yeah, I feel like that's important, and is going to get some extra ground. This is a horse that he needs every single bit of ground he can get. It still is a spread race for me, but this is the horse I think is going to benefit the most from the stretch out.
I am on Linesman. It just looked like a horse that, well, he was dead on the board, which was odd for Todd and Pletcher and the Coolmore contingent. He just seemed to me, Samantha, a horse that looked like he maybe was a little short. Maybe he needed a race, and I still thought he ran pretty well.
He did. The distance for me, I think, is a little bit concerning. He's not a very big horse, which is fine. You don't need to be huge on the grass, but I just mean as far as stride-wise, the way he covers ground.
A lot of pedigree on the 1 who's going to love getting to the turf.
Oh, yeah, big time, and this is a colt that you get IRAD here, Lasix goes on. There's a little bit of a couple of months of a layoff, but I don't mind too much because this is a fit horse.
And Todd already did this once earlier in the meet, Todd Pletcher, in that he ran a horse with a world of turf pedigree on Tapeta on debut. The horse didn't really do any running. Next start, I think he was your long shot.
Lady Madonna,
Thank you. Blew way up and got the W. Race 2 is a good one. Now, this is a maiden special weight. 3-year-olds going 7 furlongs in here. This is a race with a lot of talent kicking off the early pick 4 as well. So we'll take a look at Samantha's ticket, and then we'll get into this race.
Just too deep for me here. Then you see races 3 and 4. They're tough for me. Race 3, I do have the 6 on top, Silent Heart. Race 4, the 8 on top. That's my long shot, Legacy Isle. And race number 5, I do have J.P. Hellish on top as well.
Yeah, there we go.
Yep, a $48 play here. And like you mentioned, what a good maiden special weight to kick things off in this
Absolutely. And you got 2 deep here. The 3, Tapakina, we thought would run a little better last time. Is that your top pick?
No, the
okay,
sixes.
Okay, so the sixes.
Actually.
We'll talk about Acclaim Victor.
Yeah.
We showing it because this horse had a night. I don't want to say this horse had a nightmare trip at Tampa. This horse had a they're off you lose trip at Tampa. The winner was a Chad Brown horse that was okay. Very slow figure, but I don't think that has anything to do with how good this horse might run today.
Yeah, I think he will too. My only worry is that maybe he's a grass horse.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see today. He might win today. I think he should win today, but maybe later on. Just the way he carries himself is very turf-like. But it's hard to debut at Tampa going 7 furlongs. I feel like he'll suit this place a bit better.
He was 1-2 in a 10-horse field. Now the maiden special weight dirt races at Tampa are not much, but that says it in and of itself. My best bet of the day is in here. That's the 8, Jefferson Street. This horse ran a 9 in September.
Yeah.
These horses today aren't even running 9s as 3-year-olds. He's worked very well for this return. I just kind of feel like a bigger, stronger, more mature Jefferson Street's going to be a real problem.
Yeah, I think so too. There was one work on XBTV on February 16th, and it was a good one too. He started behind his company and passed him down the lane. He's going to be set up well for this race, and he's a horse that's drawn well in this spot.
Yeah, and I like that too, the post. And I also think now, as you know, he's 3. It's March. We got to get going here, and I think he could be a serious horse. So I think the screws might be a little tighter than normally. We both picked Tapakina on debut. Didn't really run that well, did he? I know it was a speakeasy race, though.
It was. Let's watch the replay just because I wanted to show how much ground Tapakina picked up. Look at this. I mean, this is a race where nobody was closing, and Tapakina was the only one that made up any ground late. They put the blinkers on. He was a horse that just kind of ran in spots, and you see him just really gearing down here. Big City is a horse that I think that they're going to play pretty heavily today. He ran a big number there in that race too. So
I just feel like Big City has been dragged along by a couple fast horses.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. That's why I don't have him in my top 4.
Yeah. Fixing my best bet, by the way, was none. The 8 is the number here, and I missed that, so that's what that was. Race 3, 9 stakes today, 8 of them graded. Why the Colonel Liam is not a graded stakes, I don't know. If you look at the roster of winners, it's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
We both think Silent Heart's going to stretch out and do it nicely today. I know Brian Lynch does too. I talked to him about
it. This is a horse that he's put together 2 very smart wins.
Yeah.
He should just stretch out so nicely. And the thing about him is he's got some tactical speed. The rail's at 59 feet for this race, so you don't want to leave yourself with too much to do.
No, that's a good point, and you want to have some speed too, and he's got it. Yeah. Abramar won last time over Cugino, who had a little bit of a trip. I didn't love I thought he could have been a little more aggressive in that spot.
He was a bit of a chicken, right?
Yeah,
that's what
I
put. Yeah, I thought he just in between the pack of horses, he looked kind of like he wimped out.
Didn't want to go.
No.
Wimped out. I like that.
Yeah.
Wimped out. All right. Race number 4, another pick 4. Let's show it quickly here. This is a good one on the Tapeta now. One of these overnight or the $100,000 handicaps that we run. This is a big ticket. I don't like giving these kinds out, but this is a big sequence, I think. So I'm okay. And again, we've talked about this on days like this. You peel a few bankroll rubber bands off the bankroll here. Race number 4 is the San Cristobal. In race number 5, we talked about it there. You can see another single in race number 6 for me, and that is the 5 in that spot, and that is Kings Barnes on the comeback. Your old buddy, Kings Barnes. You like that. And there's the blanket in race 7, and it lands on Anglophile. Brian Lynch, hopefully. I wonder if Bry's watching us in Vegas right now at 7:28 in the a.m. I'm going to probably lean against it. But who knows? All right, here's the Tapeta now on race 4. What a good one. The San Cristobal, $100,000 for the 4-year-olds and up. We are all over the place, and I think that makes a lot of sense, Samantha. The 4, Lure Him In, is not going to play today. He is out. I mean, why wouldn't you pick Legacy Isle?
Exactly. I've done it this many times. The last 2 times so far, we're just going to keep rolling. This is the 3rd time for me, and I'm going to be done after this. I'm not saying he's going to win this race, but I really like his chances. His Tapeta works have been fantastic. He's 30-1 for a reason. This is a big ask for him here, but I feel like the Tapeta 2 turns will carry him a little bit more, and the works are right there. Rohan could have a good day today.
Rohan could have a good day today, and he's got Real Macho in the Fountain of Youth, who's not without hope at all. Right. Congruent for me, as you snickered at, Lasix. Look at the works. His best race was on Tapeta at Turfway, and now Safi's got him.
I will say this. Safi has, I think, finally got this horse into fitness.
Yeah.
He's always been such a big, heavy horse,
Yeah.
and I love the fact that Safi's been working him. You look at these works; these are not easy works. The cones were not up in that last bullet drill on the turf, so it's going to be a faster time anyway. But he's fit today. I wasn't a huge fan of the way he worked, but then again, he was going 45 and 3.
Yeah,
so.
he won't be a short horse today.
No,
I promise
not
you
at
that.
all.
Race number 5, we are 7.5 furlongs on the turf for 4-year-olds and up. It's an optional claimer. I guess we both land on the same horse, the 2 J.P. Hellish in here. This is a pick 5 as well, so you've got the ticket. We'll take a look at it now.
I do, and I'm just really leaning on Kingsbarns here. I feel so confident with that in race number 6. And then you see 7, 8, and 9. I don't have a lot of strong opinions. Anglophile on top for race 7, as my partner does as well. The grade 3, Here Comes the Bride. Race number 8, I do have the 7 on top, Life's an Audible. I think this race will set up well. In race number 9, I'm using 3 of them, and I know it's not very conducive to use Leslie's Rose and just FYI, but I think Leslie's Rose is who I have on top, but I wouldn't sleep on Into Champagne. It's a 40-50 play for me.
All right, let's get into this one quickly, and then we'll move on to some more stakes here. J.P. Hellish, I said it last time, got a Hall of Fame ride from the Hall of Famer Javier Castellano. I love this post. That was his first start on turf for Marty or Drexler. It's all right there for you.
Yeah, it is, and this is a barn that's been white hot lately. You have to pay attention to it. I was going to show the replay, but you would need to watch the whole replay to really show how good it was. It was just a nice rail-saving trip.
This is a deep race. Loyal Company had a big number for Brendan. Barn's been just so, oof.
I know. I do prefer Loyal Company to Reckoning Force.
Okay.
I will say that.
I have no idea what we're going to get from Indestructible today. It's a bad post. He's dropping out of the Grade 1 Turf Mile. He's never been in a spot like this. Does he need the race? David Egan, Jorge Delgado have done some good work here. Lasix goes
That's
on
big,
as well. Now, race number 6 marks the return of Kingsbarns, that Grade 2 winner as a 3-year-old for Todd Pletcher. Did he go into the Derby undefeated last year? I think he did, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Didn't go well. Now he's back today in this optional claimer, 7 furlongs on the main track. Scratch the 6. Kozeris, who I had in second. I'll let you take it away because you like Kingsbarns a lot.
I love Kingsbarns. He's my best bet today. It's low-hanging fruit, but still, I love this horse. Let's just show a brief bit of a work, and I want you to pay attention to this as well because he's working with Acclaimed Victor, who we're going to see earlier.
Yep.
That's the horse on the inside. Kingsbarns is working now how he was before he even debuted, and I love that. He's filled out a lot. He's ever been a heavy horse. Acclaimed Victor holds his own pretty well with him, but Kingsbarns is just going to take off on the outside. What a cool horse. I really am excited to see him back to the races. Honestly, I thought he was going to maybe go in the Gulfstream Park Mile, and I thought he would win that. So the fact that he's here, it should just be an easy, a cruise control win for him.
Yeah, this is a serious horse now on the comeback, and I'm sure Todd and the team have major plans. Spendthrift, they paid $800 for him. He's a Grade 2 winner. This is the sky's the limit for Kingsbarns, and we're pretty happy to see him here today on Fountain Youth Day. All right, race number 7. It's all stakes from here on out. It's the McNamara, the Grade 2, 200 on the line here for the older runners. We go 1 mile and 3/8 on the turf. In this spot, another pick 4. Let's take a quick look at my ticket there. This is going to be a $42 ticket. We've already talked about this. Anglophile, it's a dart race. It landed on him in race number 8. The 3, Ozara. I finally have come around to her. Leslie's Rose is going to beat Just with FYI today. And in race number 10, the 5, Sister Luann. Tactical speed, I think, is very important. $42. I'm interested to see where you went here because this is the definition of a impossible kind of race. A 4-1 morning line favorite. They could be all over the place in this race, but it's that whoever's favored is that kind of race. Nobody's going to be sharp, and you've got the 2 Anglophile as well. Did we both think this horse would have run a little better last time?
Yeah, but I think maybe we're being a little too hard on him just because Francesco Clemente was, oh my God, like jaw-dropping, amazing for for Chad Brown that day. He just never really seemed like he got the wheels going, and he's a horse that I think the more he races, the more he kind of gets himself into fitness. Now he's third off a layoff. I love this distance of 1 3/8 for him, and he should be good to go.
Yeah, and to be fair, that was also his first stake start against older horses.
Right,
so
and
they
that's
asked,
hard.
they asked a lot of him that day. Francisco Clemente could very well be the best long distance turf horse in the country. I think Headline News is going to step up and run a big one today. He just keeps improving for Jimmy Toner. You've got the 9-6- in here. Here's the only thing that bugs me about this horse. It's Todd and Ira. This horse should be 15-1, and he's not going to be anywhere close to that.
Yeah, I'm not disagreeing there. I liked the 2 mile race, and that's kind of what I'm leaning on here. Just toss out the 1 1/8 race on the Tapeta.
Sure.
I just think he's better than that, but how good is he? I don't know. Both of you and I are spreading this spot.
It's a deep spread race for the both of us here. Race number 8 is the Grade 3. Here Comes the Bride. The 3-year-old fillies will go a mile on the turf. We do have a scratch of the 4, Dancing in Dixie, who I had a little interest in. Agra, the 10, is out as well. You are on the 7, and that's Life's an Audible. And we're going to show when Life's an Audible and Ozara tangled. This is 2 starts back for both of them.
Yes, and Life's an Audible, to me, is a horse that needed this race here. She left herself with a lot to do, but that was her first race coming back from the Breeders' Cup. Sometimes they just react a little bit. Even if they're fit, I still feel like it can come back to them. Ozara's on the rail. She had a perfect ride that day. Life's an Audible just didn't have enough, and we'll see her just flying out the back here. She comes back to win, and she still did it in a tough way. And like you said with Ozara there, she's kind of making a believer out of us. We've been so against her, and she just keeps rattling it off. But she's never broken through.
I feel like when we played the race, the Ginger View Brew, we had a pick 5. I think we went 5 deep.
And didn't use her.
We didn't use her. I believe in her now. She was so good last time. I didn't like Life's an Audible's win last time. I just thought it was very blah. I just think Ozara's better than her. We'll find out today. I want to talk about the 1, Mystic Lake. I don't care where the dogs were, what was going on, how fast the Palmetto's turf is. She's working wildly for Safi.
She's fast.
She's freaky fast.
She's very, very, very fast, and that could be a problem for these horses. The rails are at 59 feet for this race. She could just be down the road.
Yeah.
If they let her get too far out of her sights.
She's never tried turf. Her lone 2-turn race was not very pretty. To me, she's, she could be 15-1 in here, but I've got her 5 because they're going to bet off those works, and I think she's a legitimate threat to forget to stop in this race.
Good point.
Race 9. This is the Rainbow now. $1.5 million in the estimated jackpot. Let's take a look at Ron's ticket. He'll be out with us for the opener here shortly. And let's see if he went a little bit expansive here as well in the Rainbow. Okay, he's got the playbook. 43-20. He's got both of the fillies in here. There's the single in race number 10, and that is it is the outside, Arcali Kim, and then he's spreading a little bit there. He's going to go 3 deep in the Fountain of Youth with the Logicals, and he's got Real Macho in there as well. And Ronnie, 43-20, we'll have him out here for race number 1 as Samantha departs to the turf course here. We are not on the turf in the Devona Dale. We'll go flat 1-turn mile in this grade 2 for the 3-year-old fillies. Miss Saley is a long shot scratch. We've got a champion tackling a horse that is way, way faster than her.
Yeah, and I'm surprised you kind of have a lot of conviction with Leslie's Rose because you were really against
that
race for a little bit. But I'm glad you've changed your tune. She had to work hard for that win. Let's be honest. It was a good track that day, though. She's going to get a fast track. She's going to stretch out. I don't feel like she'll have to work as hard as she did with Gunsong nagging her.
Well, Gunsong might be better than all these horses.
That's a great point.
Gunsong came back and absolutely demolished a good horse for Mark Hennig, and she's going places. I thought long and hard about making Leslie's Rose the favorite in here. I really did, and it wouldn't shock me at all if she is favored in this spot. Just FYI, let's show it now. She's a champion. She's undefeated. She's a Breeders' Cup winner. She has not been out since this race, cementing her championship.
5 works back now for the Bill Mott barn, and I think that this is a crafty move by the barn. Let's just run her here, and they're cutting back with it, which is great. I felt like did just enough to win this race, and she ran hard because look at those fractions that she was going against there too. She's always been a horse that on the sheets just runs the same each time. She's going to need to take a step forward here.
3 straight 8s.
Exactly, and I don't like that. You want to see some type of breakthrough. She's going to have to come out and run a 5 or a 6 today to play with these.
Leslie's Rose has run a 4 and a 5.
Exactly.
8 is not going to cut it today. No. Ronnie caught up with Bill Mott. We've already shown it, and we'll show it later. Bill was candid and said, listen, we got to start somewhere.
Exactly.
And that's today.
Yep.
If you're going to beat a champion, this is when you do it.
Yep.
You do it off her layoff while you have recency. And I think that puts Leslie's Rose in a really, really good spot. A huge, massive late pick 5.
Yep.
Should have $2 million in the pool in race number 10. Samantha's got a ticket. We'll take a look at that now, and then we'll get into the very one.
Yes, this is a great race. I love the sequence here today. I'm ripping off the Band-Aid quick here in these first 2 races. Race 12 for me is a spread race. You could even add more in there if you wanted. I do have the 6 on top, though, a tone, although I do think it's a sharp race. Race number 13. I do have the 6 on top. That is Chili Flag, but I'm not completely convinced about her chances, so I'm adding a couple others. And then we've got the big one, the 4 on top for me, Real Macho. He was always on top for me. I'm no disrespect to Dornick or Speakeasy. I don't know. Maybe things will play out in Real Macho's hands today. It's a 22.50, and then very quickly, let's look at the Tropical Turf Pick 3 because this is an important race. It's a $30 play for me. I'm singling right off the rip. You see the 12th race, no strong opinions, and then in race number 13, just the 4 and the 6 for me. That is Chili Flag and Spansive on the lightly raced Todd Pletcher trainee. $30 the play.
All right, race 10 is the $150,000 The Very One, grade 3 for the gals here, going long, 1 mile and 3/8. It's the sister race to the MAC earlier on. Started with our Callie Kim. We'll show the replay. And I didn't think she wanted to come through last time.
Nope, and this was she was much the best this day type of race. She just was in an idle gear here. She's got one punch kick, and it takes a while for her to get winded up here. Her half sister, Temple City Terror, was one that would go 1.5 miles all day long. She didn't go up through this spot here, but she should have never been in this spot to begin with.
I think she was second best. I don't think she was much the best. I think could be best today.
Yeah.
She had the entire length of the stretch to go through.
She did,
there.
but she didn't get it going quick enough.
Okay. She's cutting back today. She's got to win at the distance.
Yep.
My horse is unproven at the distance, but Sister Luann has got tactical speed. I think that's very important in this race. Our Callie Kim's got a little of it too, but there's a lot of horses here, like a Cairo Consort, who have no speed whatsoever, and I do think Sister Luann will get first run. I don't have any worry about her stretching out. Cairo Consort, to me, is you're doing the same. She's the big fade horse to me. She's not on the top line to me.
They're trying something different with her. She's not a big filly.
Right.
That's why, and you don't have to be big. I'm not saying that in a way that it's a bad thing, because I prefer smaller horses on the grass, but I just don't feel like she's going to cover enough ground. But when a horse is trying something new for the first time, it could just hit him right between the eyes.
Miss Yearwood's going to be left with a lot to do off the
She
far
will,
turn.
but it just don't read too much into that 1.5 mile to Peter race there.
No,
because
of course not.
She runs huge numbers, and of course you look at her Churchill race. You know what I say about Churchill.
Yeah, absolutely. Race number 11 kicks off the late pick 4. We'll take a quick look at my ticket now, and then we'll get into it. I did add Victory Avenue in the Fountain of Youth. It wouldn't shock me if he goes favored now. The dynamics of the race have completely changed. We'll get into all this. You can see the big spread in race 12, and that's the one down inside Saratoga Flash. I'm just trying to get that horse loose. $18 late pick 4 ticket for me. The mile starts it off. Gulfstream Park grade 2 mile, $200,000. We couple key scratches. We knew Castle Chaos was coming out. Wit, we did not. The 2 is out. Tumbarumba was always going to win anyway, I think, right?
I had Wit on top.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I did, but now this is just a single with Tumbarumba. Let's pull up the replay. Steel Sunshine's in this race as well. Steel Sunshine, this horse leaves himself with a lot to do, but he's solid here. Tumbarumba is a horse that they had a lot of problems with getting back to the races. He had a shoulder issue. I remember last year talking to Brian about this horse because he was so high on him, and things just really never clicked. And we'll hear from Brian a little later, but you talked to him. He said this horse, there's no excuses for him. He's ready. He was always going to win that race, although Castle Chaos was strong down his neck.
Yeah.
I think this horse is peaking at just the right time now.
That was a meltdown race, and he held together very, very nicely. I like Steel Sunshine. He just never gets there. And with that running style, especially today, maybe he's a little closer today.
With
and
the condensed field, you would think, yeah.
I think Miracolo is interesting on the cutback. It could be a little sharp for him, but I think he's an interesting commodity for Antonio. Antonio will not win the first race today. He's done it 3 straight days in a row. Antonio Sano. The race 12 is the Grade 3 Canadian Turf, $150,000 on the line, a mile and a 16th, and the rails are at 59 feet. That is going to help me out. You are going to the 6, though. I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. A Tone ran a cracker in the Pegasus Turf.
I think this was a horse that just needed more race not experience, but just get another race under his belt, and he might be another one that's just going to click over at the right time. Now, this is a little sharp. I wish it was a mile and an eighth, but you said it. The rails are at 59 feet, kind of gives you a little more ground, I feel like.
I don't know if my horse is good enough. He probably isn't, but he's going to be in front, and I think that's a big deal. His claim to fame was a wildly fast race at Kentucky Downs. I don't really think that means anything, but he wired at Kentucky Downs.
Hard.
That's hard to do. He's in front in here. Edgard will send him along on the way. I don't see a lot of other speed in here. Smokin' T's a big player. Let's quickly talk about Emmanuel. Emmanuel had a prep when he won this race last year. He does not have a prep this year. That bothers me.
I agree because he's a big horse, a heavy horse. He's still intact, and they're going to keep him that way because he's a Grade 3 winner. But he likes this course, which is a good thing. But I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I don't know. Maybe he just needs one today.
Yeah.
Race 13 is the Grade 3 Honey Fox. We go a mile here. The rails are at there are no rails at 0 feet, I should say. This is a tricky one as well. Yeah. You go to the 6, and that is Chili Flag, who is clearly the horse to beat.
She is, but this is a race. Not a lot separates the race, especially when you look at the sheets, and there's a lot of question marks with a lot of these, how they're going to come back into form. She got the tightener out of the way, which I do like, and I think it's significant the fact that Chad Brown is running her here in this spot today. She's one to me that the races in New York, who did she beat, really, honestly? But in a race like this today, she should be tighter and more aggressive early on.
You know, the Pegasus Filly and Mare Turf was a weird race because, you saw Cairo Consort and Sister Luann. They were like 7th and 8th, beaten 2.5 lengths.
They all rushed right together, I
don't like that. That does not speak of a key race in the making. I
agree completely.
To me, and this horse is 9-5. They're going to bet her with both hands. She's got the, quote, big figure from that last race. I don't know. She doesn't have to win. That's why I'm like all sappy today.
I was just about to say, what did you talk to him? Did I miss out on something?
No, he's not even here. He's in Barbados. Good luck in the Gold Cup, by the way. So here's the thing with Candy Light, right? She just doesn't do anything, and Safi gets her last time, and she wins on the Tapeta. It was her best race ever. Yeah. She's got okay turf races.
She does, and I think Safi's got her on the right track now, which that's dangerous.
That's dangerous, and she's well drawn. We talk about speed. There is a ton of it. You want to show Spansive? You've got Spansive in second.
Yeah,
I don't
and
see
I've got Ancient Peace as well, and they're all coming out of that race. Now, Spansive is a horse to me. It looks like they just gave her a race. Ancient Peace is on the inside. That horse had a little bit of trouble to get some room, and I think that horse will move up quite a bit. That's a tough spot to be in there for Ancient Peace, and that was a big race off the layoff. Spansive is finishing there, but he never even uncocks his stick with her. He just kind of galloped her, and I just think that this is a horse that wants to be involved a bit more early. I talked to Todd Pletcher yesterday. He said the same thing, but now she's second off that long layoff.
Yeah, I don't think she's good enough, but she should improve. I don't think there's any doubt about that. And if she does, I mean, she's got to Be My Sunshine's got a big shot as well. She loves loves this course. The horse that I'm really fading, and you are somewhat as well, is Walkathon, no pun intended, did exactly that at Tampa. That's not happening today. She's not walking.
No, she's not, but she did run like a wild woman.
Yeah.
Like she just
wild woman.
Kept going. She was impressive, but again, against nothing, uncontested. But still, I don't want to discredit her turn of foot.
She stalked in the past and run well.
Yeah.
Okay, the 14th is the Fountain of Youth. We mentioned the scratches, unfortunately, but all things, apparently everybody's okay. Victory Avenue just wasn't himself this morning. Locked maybe didn't look as good as they wanted him to. He's out. Merritt ran yesterday, caught a buzzsaw for Shug yesterday. So we are what we are now, and we're going a mile on the 16th. We are on the short finish line. The entire complexion of this race changes. At a mile and a 16th, $400,000 on the line. Is essentially an automatic qualifier for the Kentucky Derby. No horse got hurt more by the scratches than yours, I think.
Possibly. I get that some of the speed and some of the starch is out of this race, but Dornick and Speakeasy, they will be going.
Speakeasy will be.
Yeah, I think Dornick will be right there with them. Real Macho and now kind of a little bit more condensed field.
Right.
I think he's figuring things out. You talked to Rohan. This is a horse that I was really against Born Noble last time. This horse might just be figuring things out. He's bred to go all day long. He's got such a long stride, but you saw in my tickets I am taking the 3 horses in this spot.
Born Noble ran about 20 lengths better than Real Macho last time.
That's fair.
I was hoping he was going to run today. I was going to bet him today. I don't like to switch picks just because of scratches. I don't see him catching Speakeasy in here. Short stretch finish line.
He's going to be
Let's show the race. Now Victory Avenue's out of here. Short stretch finish line. I just don't see him getting run down.
This is a very athletic horse, and I remember before he ran, and we were not
hated him
we were not on him, and we weren't on Victory Avenue either. I was on Tappaquina that day. Take note of how Tappaquina runs earlier.
And Big City.
And Big City, yep. So this race here, Todd Pletcher told me yesterday, he was like, we knew he was going to do good. I mean, he was a lot more confident than all the bettors were with him, and he leveled off nice. You said it, that short stretch finish. They're trying something that they haven't with him yet. This is ambitious, but now with these 2 horses out, it kind of looks like they made the right move.
Absolutely. He's as loose as they want him to be in here. One thing I want to say about that race, that was race 2 on the card. We didn't run another dirt race until race 9.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't believe that race. It was just really out there on an island.
And it was so fast.
So fast.
So fast.
Let's show Dornock in the Remsen. He's so game.
He is.
Danny Gargan kind of sort of said maybe, we might need a race day. Listen, this was like the all-time inside speed bias.
Oh, yeah.
But I watched this replay when Santiago queued this up. Good job, guys, and Bob as well, for the clip. Okay, I know Sierra Leone, he's going to get past and he's going to win for fun. I think maybe he hung, whatever. But here's my point with this when I watch this. Sierra Leone is in the 2 path, okay, right now. I know the rail was like immortal that day at Aqueduct, and Senor Buscador got up against it that day too. Sierra Leone was a 1.5 outside of Dornock.
But on the far turn, he was about 7
He
wide.
was.
So,
yes, he was.
But the thing about Dornick is he's still figuring things out. He's as green as grass in all of his races.
Yeah.
He just wanders. You saw him bump off the inside rail there. Louis Saez said that he's doing much better. There was one work of him. It was on the 24th. He was working with a horse named Neat Trick. We'll see tomorrow, who is not anything.
No.
She's a filly. He worked well. He seems like he's got his eye on the ball a little bit more today, but he waits on horses, so he's going to need a challenge.
And he doesn't need to win this race today. Full brother to Mage, by the way, last year's Kentucky Derby winner. He doesn't have to win today, and that's why another reason why I think Speakeasy will ultimately be tough to catch.
Yeah.
That's it. We're done. No lightning round. We got too much going on here, and Pete's upstairs to run you through the scratches and the changes. Ronnie will be out here. Samantha on the turf. What a race day here. Happy to have you aboard.